There are jewels that captivate with their brilliance, and then there are those that terrify with their history. This is the story of a gemstone unlike any other, a ruby steeped in blood and shadowed by an ancient curse. Its beauty is undeniable, yet its allure is a deadly trap. Legend claims this particular ruby was not mined from the earth, but violently pried from the eye of a death goddess herself. A chilling origin for a stone that has since carved a path of destruction through centuries. It is a tale whispered in hushed tones, a warning against greed and sacrilege. The history of this ruby is a grim ledger of misfortune and untimely demise. Of its 19 documented owners, 18 met ends that were anything but natural. Each death more bizarre, more brutal than the last, painting a horrifying pattern of supernatural retribution. Now, the 19th owner has vanished without a trace, leaving behind only questions and a palpable sense of dread. Their disappearance ignites the latest chapter in this terrifying saga, pulling us into the heart of a mystery that defies rational explanation. The ruby, it seems, is still very much active. Our story begins in the sweltering heat of British colonial India in the year 1879. Deep within a remote, forgotten temple, nestled amidst overgrown jungle, stood an ancient shrine dedicated to Kali Dagor, the formidable goddess of time, change, and destruction. It was a place of profound reverence and deep-seated fear. At the heart of this temple stood the idol of Kali Dagor, carved from a single, imposing block of black stone. Her eyes, however, were not stone. They were two magnificent, glowing rubies, said to possess the power to foresee the moment of death for all who gazed upon them. They pulsed with an eerie, internal light. It was here that Colonel Reginald Hargreaves, a man driven by avarice and a profound disrespect for local customs, committed his unforgivable act. Under the cloak of darkness, he desecrated the idol, prying the left ruby eye from its ancient socket. He intended to fashion it into a brooch, a trophy of his conquest. 48 hours later, Colonel Hargreaves was found dead in his quarters, his face contorted in a rictus of terror. The official report cited a heart failure for the 38-year-old officer, a diagnosis that satisfied no one. Whispers of a curse began to circulate among the local populace. Clutched in his lifeless hand was a crumpled, blood-stained note. Its chilling message, scrawled in a desperate hand, simply read, "As she wants it back." A stark testament to the terror that consumed his final moments. Before the investigation could properly begin, the ruby itself vanished. It disappeared from the evidence tray in the cantonment's makeshift morgue, leaving behind only an empty space and a growing sense of unease. The goddess's eye had begun its dark journey. Initially, the British authorities dismissed the incident as a tragic accident, fueled by local superstition. They were men of science and empire, not of ancient curses. Yet, the whispers persisted, growing louder with each passing day, weaving a tapestry of dread around the cantonment. The Calcutta Gazette, on May 6, 1880, ran a headline that captured the escalating fear: "The eye of the goddess is gone. Death walks the cantonment." It was no longer just a local rumor. The ominous presence was becoming undeniable. The air itself seemed to thicken with foreboding. Then came the discovery of an ancient palm leaf manuscript, unearthed from the temple's hidden archives. It contained a prophecy, stark and terrifying: whoever steals the eye shall return it drop by drop, until the goddess's thirst is quenched. A chilling premonition of the horrors to come. Soon after, a devastating cholera outbreak swept through the cantonment, claiming 127 lives in a matter of weeks. The locals, and even some of the more superstitious British soldiers, saw it as the goddess's first payment. A brutal demonstration of her wrath, demanding restitution. The ruby, now infamous, was smuggled out of India, making its way to the bustling markets of London. There, its dark reputation preceded it, earning it a new, sinister moniker among those who knew its history, the Widowmaker. Its journey of blood had only just begun. The curse wasted no time in claiming its next victim. In 1881, Lady Evelyn Hargreaves, Colonel Hargreaves' widow, was found dead at the bottom of a grand staircase. Her neck was broken, and the ruby necklace she wore was inexplicably tightened, as if by an unseen hand. Just a year later, in 1882, Jacob Waterford, a wealthy gem merchant who had acquired the ruby, perished in a sudden, violent workshop explosion. His body was found amidst the charred debris, burned beyond recognition. The ruby, however, remained miraculously unscathed. Cordelia Stone, a young socialite, wore the ruby as a centerpiece for her wedding in 1885. During the reception, her elaborate wedding dress inexplicably caught fire, engulfing her in flames. She died a horrific death, the ruby still gleaming amidst the ashes. In 1891, the ruby found its way to Japan, into the possession of Tanaka Ryo, a reclusive samurai. He was discovered in his locked room, having committed seppuku, ritual suicide. No one could explain why a man of his honor would choose such a fate, especially in such a confined space. Lun Bak, a Chinese opium lord, acquired the ruby in 1899. He was found drowned in his private chambers, a room with no water source, no windows, and a securely locked door. The floor was inexplicably wet, as if a river had briefly flowed through. Otto Krieger, a German industrialist, owned the ruby in 1906. While inspecting his factory, a massive crane hook swung wildly, skewering him directly through the eye. The precision of the accident was terrifying, a grotesque echo of the ruby's origin. In 1912, Diego Salazar, a South American dictator, became obsessed with the ruby's power. In a desperate, misguided attempt to absorb its essence, he swallowed the gem whole. Days later, his stomach ruptured, leading to a gruesome and agonizing death. Vincent Mallory, a flamboyant American jazz musician, was the ruby's owner in 1927. He was found hanging from an unplugged ceiling fan in his locked penthouse apartment. The fan, inexplicably, was still spinning slowly, a macabre pendulum. Amir Das, an Indian mystic, believed he could appease the goddess. In 1931, he attempted to return the ruby to its original temple. As he approached the shrine, a temple elephant, usually docile, went berserk, trampling him to death. The ruby was lost again. Most recently, in 2019, Helena Peters, a brilliant gemologist, was analyzing the ruby with a high-powered laser. The diamond-bladed cutting tool she was using shattered without warning, a shard piercing her jugular vein. She bled out in moments, the ruby gleaming innocently nearby. If you're still watching, congratulations, you've outlasted 18 victims. But the story's not over yet. Hit that subscribe button before the ruby finds its next owner, and let's finish this tale together. Dr. Mira Iyer, a renowned pathologist, offers a more grounded perspective on the ruby's deadly history. She points out the statistical correlation between immense wealth and risky lifestyles. Owners of such a valuable gem often live lives fraught with danger, making them statistically more prone to accidents. She also highlights the human tendency for pattern seeking. Our minds are wired to find connections, even when none objectively exist, especially when confronted with a series of tragic events. The narrative of a curse provides a compelling, albeit unproven, explanation. Dr. Lucas Grant, a leading gemologist, delves into the physical properties of the ruby itself. He notes the presence of rutile inclusions, microscopic needle-like structures within the stone, which can act as stress razors. These could, theoretically, contribute to unexpected fractures or instability. He even posits a far-fetched theory: suggesting that microfractures within the ruby curd, under certain conditions, release minute quantities of toxic aluminum oxide. While highly improbable, it offers a scientific, if speculative, alternative to the supernatural. Sarah Lynn, an insurance analyst, provides a stark financial perspective. The string of deaths associated with the ruby has resulted in over $47 million in policy payouts over the decades. This staggering sum underscores the very real, tangible impact of the curse. She calculates the astronomical odds of such a series of random, fatal accidents befalling 19 consecutive owners of a single object. Her figures suggest a probability of 1 in 1.8 trillion, a number so vast it defies comprehension. It makes a coincidence a very difficult argument to sustain. The death goddess ruby is currently the subject of an Interpol Red Notice, issued in 2022. Its last confirmed location was leaving a private jet in Zurich, scanned by an automated system. Since then, its trail has gone cold, swallowed by the shadows. The private jet itself was a phantom flight, with no passenger manifest or registered owner. It simply appeared, offloaded its mysterious cargo, and vanished back into the night. A ghost in the global transport network, carrying a deadly secret. Weeks later, a cargo container at the bustling port of Marseille was found with a crimson smear on its lock. The color was unmistakably that of dried blood, a chilling signature left by the ruby's passage. It was a silent warning, a promise of violence. Customs officer Philippe Arquette, the first to investigate the container, met a swift and brutal end. He slipped on the wet dock, fracturing his skull on the unforgiving concrete. Another accident, another life claimed by the ruby's relentless hunger. Witnesses at the port reported seeing a mysterious woman near the container. She was cloaked, her face obscured, leaving no fingerprints. The only trace she left behind was a faint, lingering scent of sandalwood, an ancient perfume in a modern world. In 2023, the Archaeological Survey of India reopened the Kali Dago shrine, hoping to uncover more about its history. The temple, long abandoned, still held a palpable sense of ancient power and lingering dread. Its secrets were slowly being revealed. The idol of Kali Dago still stands, majestic and terrifying, but her left eye remains a gaping void. It is a constant reminder of the sacrilege, a silent testament to the goddess's enduring pain and fury. The emptiness seems to draw the eye, demanding attention. The local priests, descendants of those who once tended the shrine, maintain their unwavering belief. They insist the goddess cannot rest, her power incomplete, until her stolen left eye is returned to its rightful place. Her vengeance will continue until then. During a new moon, an archaeological team reported a strange anomaly within the temple. A flickering shadow, impossibly deep, seemed to move across the idol's face. They also found wet footprints, smelling distinctly of river water and iron, leading away from the shrine. The next morning, a local newspaper carried an obituary. The name matched a whisper heard by one of the archaeologists, a chilling, disembodied voice that seemed to emanate from the idol itself. The goddess, it seems, still speaks and still demands. From the greed of a colonial officer to phantom footprints in an ancient temple, the story of the death goddess Ruby is a tapestry woven with terror and unanswered questions. It is a saga that spans continents and centuries, leaving a trail of blood in its wake. The core question remains: is this a series of improbable coincidences, a testament to human folly and statistical anomaly? Or is it something far more sinister, a manifestation of supernatural justice, an ancient curse demanding its due? The evidence, both rational and inexplicable, weighs heavily. One thing is certain: the trail isn't finished. The ancient hunger of the goddess, embodied in that cursed ruby, continues its relentless pursuit. It seeks its next meal, its next drop of blood, until its eye is returned. And somewhere, right now, the ruby is waiting. If this story sent chills down your spine, don't keep it to yourself. Hit subscribe to join the Turkish Odyssey, where every week we uncover hidden history, cursed relics, and forbidden truths that others are too afraid to tell. Like this video if you dare to touch the death goddess ruby for $1 million, and tell us why in the comments. Share this video to spread the legend, and maybe, just maybe, keep the curse away from you. Thank you for watching. See you in the next adventure.